Welcome, everyone. It's so nice to see everybody here. Everybody was more on time than I expected. My name is Dina Rosenfeld, Devorah Leah Rosenfeld, and I am really honored to be here tonight and share the stage with our renowned VIP guest experts, Rivka Jungreis and Debbie Fox. All of you who made the effort to attend tonight's event have already shown how very much you care about the well-being of your children. Just coming out is really difficult, and we so appreciate your being here. You clearly care about doing the best you can for your families and your kids, mind, body, and soul. The first order of business, the MC's job, is always to give the thank yous. And there were so many people who worked hard to put this event together and make this evening possible. I want to thank Operation Survival, a division of the National Committee for the Furtherance of Jewish Education, and Safety Kit of Crown Heights, which is under the auspices of the Chinuch office, for coordinating and for hosting this evening. We are grateful to Senator Jesse Hamilton for helping to secure the funding to cover the cost of the program, and to Esther Blau for her part in making the event a success. A big thank you to all the Crown Heights schools who partnered and joined together to encourage parents to come tonight and to hear what will be, I think, the most excellent presentation on a topic that two topics that everybody really needs to know a lot about. For me, personally, a woman who has children in high school and others who are married with children of their own, I find parenting to be the most daunting, the most humbling, the most joyous, and the most amazing journey that doesn't leave anyone the same as when they began. Parenting Mind, Body, and Soul is a great title for this evening. And it's not just about what we do to educate our children in these three aspects of their lives. To me, it also encompasses what we do as parents to strengthen our minds, care for our bodies, and nourish our own souls. To raise and be mechanech children is to experience the incredible challenge and spiritual growth that comes from simply being a parent. I found a powerful statement from the Rebbe that to me touches the core of what healthy parenting is about today in every single area. The Rebbe says, and I quote, "The success of children's chinuch is connected to their emotional state." And remember, this was said decades ago. Therefore, it is important that even when the parents face difficulties, they see their mother and their father going about their affairs with contentment and inner peace. And that, in particular, the mother encourages the children so that they too can live in contentment and happiness. If you asked me for 2 words to describe what it's like to raise a house full of energetic, bright, challenging children, contentment and inner peace probably are not the words I would think of at first. Who but the Rebbe would associate contentment and inner peace with the exhausting and hectic pressure cooker that child rearing can often be? Getting them to cooperate in the morning, getting them to stop hitting their sister with a spoon, getting them to bed at night, trying not to yell. How can we ever reach anything that resembles contentment and inner peace as we parent our children? I run a little parenting support group, and as we go through our meetings and people bring up different points, there are 3 elements, 3 important things that keep coming up over and over again. Point one is focus. You can hear 1,000 lectures on how to communicate with children, active listening, relating to your children, so many wonderful ideas and tips and tricks and ways to connect, but none of them can take place when you're looking at your cell phone. Anything you read or hear or want to implement can only really be done when your focus is complete, when you're completely present with your child. It's so hard today. It's so difficult. Back in the day, because I'm this old, I used to take my regular phone off the hook, and I got a lot of flack for that. I said, "Where were you? I was trying to reach you. Your phone was busy." I said, "Whoops, the kids must have knocked it off the hook. I'm so sorry." But bedtime and supper time had to be with focus. And today it's so much harder. I met a young woman who found a solution. She keeps her cell phone in the glove compartment of her car. She won't even bring it in the house when she's with her family. Now, that may be like an ideal that not everyone can reach, but I do encourage everybody to find those moments they can really focus and not be interrupted, that they don't have to shoo away the child while they're doing something else. So once the phone and the distractions are out of the way, then we can plan for thoughtful interactions that include a buffet of options. Reading books, one of my favorites. Having discussions that expand a child's mind. Exercise, food preparation, activities that promote a healthy body. And of equal and great importance is interesting, pleasant ways to include children in mitzvah activities, preparations for Yom Tov, doing favors for others, so that their spiritual selves are also nourished and educated. So focus is one. The second is establishing your own priorities. I can't tell you how many times I've gone to lectures on time management or some other thing that's supposed to help me be a better mother, and I came home discouraged and despairing. I'll never be that 5:30 a.m. woman who wakes up and makes a hot breakfast, and I don't know, I could never have it together. How come I can't implement all these fantastic ideas? Standard advice doesn't always lead to contentment and inner peace. Sometimes it fosters feelings of inadequacy or failure. So if you choose to serve pizza and use what would be a cooking time to play a game with your children, that's a mindful trade-off. That's not failure. If you plan to skip a cleaning task to take a nap and refresh yourself, that can be a great thing, or it can be the totally wrong choice. The point is that the Rebbe advised everyone to have somebody, a listening ear, someone who cares about you, trusts you, knows your family, that you can bounce these things. If you call them up and say, "From now on, I'm getting up at 5 in the morning," they might say, "Honey, that's not a good idea for you." That is not going to last long, and it's not going to work well. So by all means, have that mashpia, have that person who can guide you so that your priorities are taken into account and that the way you run your home and your mikdash ma'at is personalized. So you have focus and you have priorities. And I'd say last but not least, the path to inner contentment and peace and even just being more efficient is positive self-talk. Positive self-talk is based in bitachon. It's a way of looking at your situation that is clearly accepting that whatever is meant to be. So that's down to the smallest detail. So when we replace thoughts like, or statements like, "This house is an absolute wreck," instead we can say something like, "This is exactly what a house with many young children often looks like." And suddenly we've attained contentment and inner peace because instead of awfulizing a mess, we've kind of accepted it. Instead of, "This child's impossible, she'll never learn," and this is my favorite, "No one will ever want to marry her," we can tell ourselves, "I am the best person in the world to raise and nurture this child." And yeah, in about 18 years, someone will think she's great. Instead of this perennial favorite, "I'm going crazy, I can't anymore," we can say, "Hashem has already given me the strength I need to care for my children." This positive self-talk, this switching the channel, goes a long way to strengthening our spiritual selves and keeping us mentally and emotionally healthy and on point. Everything starts in the mind, and that flows outward to the way the house is run and to that inner peace and contentment that the Rebbe valued so highly and identified as the most important part of our parenting journey. I've heard a lot of women say, I can't change the way I talk to my children. It's not possible. It's not me. It doesn't sound natural. Can't do it. We can replace that with the following. I'm willing to learn. I'm open to new ways to connect with my children and communicate with them.